I've lived to help me understand the viewpoints of the people who I loved and lost, who wandered off. The ones I acted badly to, who acted bad to me. The ones who held my interest close, I've learned that it all had to be exactly as it was. For those immersed in a dull fog of years long since grave bound, we played skunk in the playground. You lay down beside me, held my hand and asked to stay round. This was way back, before abortions, addictions or breakdowns. With wild eyes we laughed colour into the concrete of this grey town. And now I make the page drown in all my drunken poetry. You know it's me, I know it's you, you know it's me. This was all supposed to be, I know it's you, you know it's me. And this was all supposed to be. The kids I see scuffing their feet at bus stops are the same as us, sure of their immortality. They live to play the dangerous games. They trust that they will never part, they trust that they will never age. They trust the world was made for them, and that nobody knows the rage they would unleash at those who trespass against the ones they love the most. They do not know that soon enough all love is dreams and ghosts, and the only ones who hurt us are the ones who care and love us well. And so I watch them from afar, cause I'm a grown up now with much to tell. I don't want to remember or forget, I don't want to harbour days. It's so hard to place the past in context when the past it rules the darkest days. Illuminated by the sparks that fly when I realise we live the same stories until we have played every part. Until we know our reasons and have found peace with all of our splintered things. I think of you, the summer from which my endless winter springs. And yes, I know my reasons. I've found peace with all of these splintered things, but I think of you, the summer from which this fucking winter springs. So to the past then, to the past. Let's journey back and make some sense of now by making sense of then. I'm sure that we can be friends again. I'm so far from who I was when last we spoke. Fuck it, I'm still the same girl. I'm still a record with a method to a madness who watched the flames curl around us as we burn the burn of fire-hearted kids. And I've made peace with all we did, and I forgive. And I will give my time to all of you at some stage. Those were fun days before the young aged. Bunking school just to do fuck all, there weren't even any Sundays. And some gave their minds to the madness, others got caught in the routine. All I know is we was blessed to have ever made acquaintance. We kicked our cans along the pavement, the valiant amongst the vacant. This is for those who gave my voice its cadence and pushed me to seek my strength in statements. Patterns. Everything is balanced by the patterns. I have seen them in the way that I relate to my companions. In everything that happens there are patterns. Everything's in stages, cycles, phases, and they all have patterns at their basis. I'm talking patterns, fits of passion, waking up wishing you hadn't. Took me 23 years just to fathom out that pattern. The same situation, endlessly occurring. All that changes are the roles you play. Now once you start observing all the roles you've played, you will understand the roles you gave to others. There are patterns in the way we fall for lovers, in who we recognise the others who have loved us badly. Well, man, either way, I see the patterns in the past and it's enough to blow my mind away. See, there's this man I've known for years, and still to this day do I know him. And I love him very much, it's just very hard for me to show him. Because back then, and even now, I feel there's something that I owe him. And that feeling should be going over time, but no, it's growing. We were kid mates, making mistakes, paying give-take. Good hearts battling the big snakes, rattling their tails. Man, he was like the wind in my sails. I was like the water for his keel, it was real. It used to hurt my flesh that his wore the scars of heated steel. He used to hurt his flesh just to see if he could feel. To cut a long short, he was never really the strong sort, and he got into the wrong sport, big swigs and long snorts. Caught in that spiral, he saw attempts to help us spiteful, and soon he got so down that he got on the brown and word got around. And people did not like the sound, they told me, Kate, stop popping round to see him. I kept disagreeing, but soon he was a different being. He got into stealing, robbing, I'd still see him frequent often, eyes all throbbing, weeping, sobbing, freaking out. He couldn't speak about the things that made him weak, because doubt would stop his throat mid-sentence. His face would paint repentance, but his actions spoke dependence. And so our friendship became difficult, to say the least. He played the beast so well, I wondered how we'd ever make our peace. That's when we drifted. We never argued, it just became clear that the parts of him I loved so well had slowly disappeared. I said, you look the same, but I don't recognise you. I'm looking you dead in the face and I can't find you. I don't like the way we always talk in the past tense, but you can't explain the present till you you work out what the past meant. I said, I'm looking right at you, but you ain't present no more. You laugh the same laugh, but its echo is flawed. And now when we talk, feel like I'm walking on the edge of a sword. I've tried to forget about the past, I just remember it more. Fuck it, I'm here for you, whatever the score. But it don't really feel like you're my friend anymore. The more we talk about it though, the wider the space. Some days are gone when we were 13, dividing our apes, making promises we'd always relate. I tell you straight, I'm well versed in the chapters of lies. I know dishonesty. It's not how much or what you're using that even bothers me. It's the fact you feel you have to lie about it that really worries me. Because you might well be my oldest friend. And we was at our closest when the days were young, like our hearts, heads and handprints, standing on the grand plinth of reckoning we weren't ever gonna grow, either old or apart. But that was then, and we might never be a team again. But I remember Bucky's on your bike when we were teens, and then I remember how the other day we linked up and had fuck all to say. Fuck it, bruv, I miss you, I just wish you weren't an issue. But you look the same, man, I don't recognise you. Looking you dead in the face, I can't find you. I don't like the way we always talk in the past tense, but you can't explain the present till you work out where the past went. The past went to the patterns, man. Everything is balanced by the patterns, man. I have seen them in the way that I relate to my companions, man. In everything that happens, there are patterns. Everything's in stages, cycles, phases, and they all have these patterns at their basis. I mean it, patterns. Fits of passion. Waking up wishing you hadn't. Took me 24 years just to fathom out that pattern. Same situation, endlessly occurring. All that changes are the roles you play, and once you start observing all the roles you've played, you'll understand the roles you gave to others. There are patterns in the way we fall for lovers, in who we recognise the others who have loved us badly. Well, either way, I see the patterns in the past, and it's enough to blow my mind away. And then I looked at you with the same look that was looked at me before. That's when I saw that I'd become the same one who back then turned my heart so raw, and now was turning yours. You were innocent and unaware of my displeasure. You moved towards me like you thought through being closer together physically, you could bring my heart back round to being brimful with your features. You didn't know my heart was brimful of someone else's. So, from beloved to lover, the other is always so vibrant. The violence of holding it in, the silence of skin against skin, illicitly kissing and skipping through hidden encounters, while you, big damp eyes, you clutched me too tight and you wept in the mornings. And I'm so sorry, but the patterns will be until they are no more. In the dawning of truth, the floor spins, the sickness is swelling, there's no telling why it's ever going. It does what it wants at the cost of my health, but I meant when I said there could be no one else. Too little, too late though. The patterns emerged and spelt destiny. This was the legacy left to me. Mismatched, staggered affection. You know, you either love them too much or you don't love them enough. And you were the same. Either embers or flame, or coal going cold in the grate. I maintain the point of it all is to check for it next time. To know your own nature and see your own weakness. No more of these secrets, this indiscreet bleakness. My heart still belongs to the one who completes it. There are oceans between us. The patterns advanced. The patterns advanced, man, they shattered my calm into frenzy. And now I miss you, but it's pointless, because you're gone. And if you miss me, it's pointless, you're gone, you're beyond, but I keep you inside. I don't mean to, but do. Tonight, if I sleep, my dreams will be of you. I keep you inside, I don't mean to, but I do. And tonight, I won't sleep at all. Tonight, I will shuffle my feet, I will stare at the walls. While the ugliness creeps in my core, I'm stained. And I can't keep my mouth from making the shape of your name. Shaking and strange, and I'm thinking of you. And I'm sat in a pub now, I'm drinking for two. And I blink in the new light of night, and I'm sinking the truth and a few pints, and I want to see you naked, stretched out, smoking before speaking the way that you do. These are the patterns, and I must be patient. The common bond between us and the ancients. I went from cheated on to cheater, from beaten on to beater, then I broke the cycle, didn't want to be either. I've been the flirter and the flirted at, I've hurt them all, they hurt me back, the speaker of the curses and the vessels that the words attack. I went from cheated on to cheater, from beaten on to beater, but then I broke the cycle, didn't want to be either. I've been the flirter and the flirted at, I hurt them all, they hurt me back, the speaker of the curses and the vessels that the words attack. Who isn't in love with you? It seems we're all under your spell. Young and old, we're as hungry as hell for you to hold us and love us as well as we know you can. I just really like holding your hand. So I find myself here, as mad for you as once they was for me. It's sad but true. There is always a lover and a beloved. There is always another to nourish, encourage, and so with a flourish the cycle's completed. Tracing that loop until it's defeated. I'll leave it up to the winds of time, because I swear you and I are of the same kind. I'll leave it up to the winds of time, but I just can't drink you off my mind. It's weird. Since the first moment I touched you so purely that all of me touched you. You're kind of someone I look down at and up to. I met you to love you, so let me just love you. The patterns will teach me to trust you. The patterns will teach me to trust me. The patterns will kill off the hands that clutch me. Hands of dishonesty, clouds in the prophecy, obscuring the memory of days not lived yet. Quick, let's skip town, walk along the seafront on a grey day. 100 miles an hour on the motorway with a broken window. Loads to say, it all got blown away. Fuck it, let's get wet in the rain. Let's forget the regret, forget pain, because we're kissing the world into focus. And when you look out at them shining eyes, how can I not notice you're fragile just like me? We ain't as brave as they think we are. That's not to say it's an act. What I'm saying is I write poems for you all day that you will never read. What I lack in discretion, I make up for in passion. I live at the mercy of patterns. Oscar Wilde once wrote, and when I read it, I believed it. The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it. That's why I yield to the patterns, because everything is balanced by the patterns. I have seen them in the way that I relate to my companions. In everything that happens, there are patterns. Everything's in stages, cycles, phases. They all got patterns at their bases. Fucking patterns, fits of passion, waking up, wishing you hadn't. Took me 25 years just to fathom out that pattern. Same situation, endlessly occurring. All that changes are the roles you play. Now once you start observing all the roles you played, you'll understand the roles you gave to others. There are patterns in the way we fall for lovers, in who we recognise the others who have loved us badly well either way. I saw the patterns in the past, it was enough to blow my mind away. I saw the patterns in the stars and they sang to me of brighter days. I hold your pattern in my arms and I swear I'm gonna make you mine someday.
Yeah!